On the night of 15th June, a deadly clash took place in between two nuclear-armed neighbors, which was first in last 60 years. India and China have already fought major wars, but this face-off is the worst it has been in recent times. How did two neighbors reach to this point, and what's the history behind them? 1834, present-day Ladakh was invaded and annexed to Jammu by the armies of Raja Gulab Singh under Sikh Empire. After defeat of Sikh Empire in the First Anglo-Sikh War, J&K was established as the princely state under the British. When India gained independence from British, she inherited the entire boundary, including Aksai Chin, as per the Johnson Line. In year 1865, Johnson Line was proposed, which put Aksai Chin in J&K. It was a time of revolt there when Xinjiang was not controlled by China, so plan was never presented to them. The other disputed territory is south of McMahon Line called NEFA, Northeast Frontier Agency, present-day Arunachal Pradesh. McMahon Line was agreed between Tibet and British India in year 1914 under Shimla Convention, but China objected to it, stating that Tibet was never independent, so there was no agreement between the two parties. But this agreement did take place in a cloak of secrecy, but it had its own problems. The agreement was conditional, under which Tibetans had to get permission from Chinese, which they never got. Tibetan officials continued to administer Tawang, but during the World War II, India's east was threatened by Japanese troops and the threat of Chinese expansion, due to which they secured Tawang to act as buffer zone between two countries. Coming to 1952, till then, China never had any objections to Ladakh and Aksai Chin, but there was change in Chinese policy after 1952. China, being true to its nature, slowly took control over the area and built a highway passing through it, which connects Xinjiang Autonomous Region to Tibet till date. India did not know about the highway until 1957, which they came to know about from the Chinese maps. On 21st October 1959, first clash took place in Hot Spring area between two armies, in which 10 Indian soldiers were martyred. At that time, ITBP was not formed, so police used to guard the border. Due to this incident, we celebrate 21st October as National Police Memorial Day. In year 1960, an important delegation from China came to India, which was headed by Zhou Enlai. He was the first premier of People's Republic of China. During this meeting, it was with then PM Jawaharlal Nehru was offered a peace deal in which India was to accept Aksai Chin as Chinese territory, and then the northeast problems could be discussed. At that time, it was assumed that Chinese would give up their claims on NEFA. The deal was rejected by Jawaharlal Nehru, which sent a wrong message to the Chinese that India did not wanted peace. The groundwork for 1962 war was laid in year 1959 during Tibetan uprising, when India granted asylum to Dalai Lama along with other Tibetan refugees. Till date, Tibetan government functions in exile from Dharamshala, and this is a major bone of contention. This, coupled with impressions of Zhou Enlai along with couple of other provocations, led to War of 1962. There is documented proof where Chinese leadership accepts to the fact that the war was just to teach India a lesson and destroy its grandeur. The war started on 20th October 1962 after Chinese invasion in north from Ladakh to east in Nefa. Chinese forces advanced over Indian forces, capturing Rezangla in Chushul sector and Tawang in Eastern Theater. The war finally came to end after a month of fighting on 20th November 1962, when China declared ceasefire and withdrew as to claim line of control. This war broke India's misconception that China would never attack and there would be a peaceful coexistence. This belief of not being attacked by China led to standoff between 10 to 20,000 soldiers of India to 80,000 troops of China. During that time, India was so concerned about its relation with China that it did not even attend a conference for conclusion of peace treaty with Japan as China was not invited. After this war, there was another confrontation in 1967 at Nathula and Chola in which India achieved decisive tactical advantage and managed to hold its own against Chinese. After this, even though skirmishes continued, but there was no major escalation until Doklam in 2017 when Chinese were trying to construct a road in the area and Indian troops in aid to their Bhutanese counterpart objected to it, which resulted in a 2-month-long standoff. Doklam is strategically located close to Siliguri corridor which connects mainland India with its northeast region. It is also called Chicken's Neck as it is a vulnerable point for India as it being just 22 kilometers at its widest. At present, India and Bhutanese troops are at an advantageous position as compared to Chinese due to their height advantage, but China in recent times has beefed up their presence, which is an issue for India because if Doklam is captured, the Chinese would have commanding view of Chumbi Valley and Siliguri corridor, which is already very vulnerable point for India. Moving away from Indo-China history, the present situation in Ladakh and rest of LAC is just a notch away from a full-blown conflict, with thousands of soldiers of either side in each other's firing range, jets roaring day in, day out. Relation between two countries is at its lowest point. Multiple reasons have been cited as the trigger for these skirmishes. One of the reasons is said to be because of push to develop the long neglected border infrastructure. One road particularly stands in the middle is the Darbuk-Shiok DBO road. It connects Ladakh's capital Leh to Daulat Beg Oldi post in northern border and is very important for the purpose of defending and maintaining Siachen Glacier. This road reduced the travel time between Leh and DBO from 2 days to just 6 hours. Now, many feeder roads from this road are being built which will provide easy and fast access to LAC. All this development along the border did not go well with the Chinese establishment and there have been many requests from their side to stop the work, including this time. Other than this, other reasons include growing India's proximity to United States. China sees this alliance as a threat to itself and its future ambitions. Quad is another alliance which could be militarized if India invites Australia to this year's Malabar exercise. Quad, that is Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, is an informal group between 4 democracies which include India, Japan, Australia and US. China sees this grouping as anti-China and objects to it. The issue started on after the scuffles of May 5th and 6th at Pangong So in Ladakh and Nakula in North Sikkim. Soon after that, Chinese moved in large forces to the border, which was mirrored by the Indian forces. Before moving forward, there are certain agreements between India and China which you should know about. Agreement signed in 1993 states that no activity of either side shall overstep the line of actual control. In case the personnel of one side crosses the line of actual control, upon being cautioned by the other side, they shall immediately pull back to their own side of line of actual control. 3 years later, again an agreement was signed, making it more specific and clear that the troops on both sides shall exercise self-restraint in case of face-off situation and start immediate consultation through diplomatic channels. This agreement made rules of engagement which made it clear in which neither side shall fire a weapon or conduct blast operations within 2 kilometers of the LAC. The final agreement was signed in 2013, under which direct hotline between the two military headquarters was established, which could be used to increase the communication between two armies. By June 10, the disengagement process had already started, but on the night of 15th June, there was a clash which turned out to be the worst clash in decades. The fight went on for entire night with stones, clubs wrapped in barbed wires and other makeshift weapons brought in by the Chinese side. The clash took lives of 20 Indian soldiers and unspecified number of Chinese soldiers. Soon after that, Major General level talks were initiated to calm down the situation, which ended inconclusively. By this time, the grim situation was already out of hand, with thousands of soldiers, machines, tanks, and aircraft being deployed by the other side. With China opening new fronts on the border, India opened an economic front against China, starting with the banning of 59 Chinese apps, which included TikTok, WeChat, and many more. Soon, other apps followed, taking the total of 224 apps which are currently banned, which even includes popular gaming app PUBG. Since then, build-up have been continuous with military level talks going on but unable to get to any point. The next major escalation took place on the night of August 29th and 30th, during which our armed forces preempted the Chinese and took control of the strategic heights which were never occupied after the War of 1962. With this, the table turned on to the Chinese, a move which they never had anticipated. After this move, India now dominates most of the height, which gives them a strategic advantage. It is said that in a mountain warfare, one who controls the height controls the area. After the details were made public, there was a specific force which was in special focus, Special Frontier Force SFF, or the Establishment 22. Raised on 14 November 1962, soon after the Indochina War, they have fought many wars like the Bangladesh Liberation War and Kargil War and many more, but the force was never acknowledged publicly until recently. They are mostly made up of Tibetans living in India. The winter in Leh and Ladakh is cold and harsh, with temperature dropping up to minus 40 degrees Celsius with wind factor. The advanced winter stocking for all the soldiers and machines have already started, with this standoff going well into the winters. With the current pace of development, it is difficult to say when or where the situation will lead. The war between two countries can be disastrous, with life being lost on both sides, and economies which are already struggling could face a body blow. I'll take your leave until next time.